Hare Krishna. Welcome to astronumerovastu. My name is Saachi. We are presenting to you the series of sessions Numerology Made Easy. Today I am going to talk about 4 pillars of numerology for success and what planets each of these numbers represent. 4 pillars of numerology for success. Basically, these are the different concepts that we learn in the science of numerology. And it is very, very important that we apply these concepts in totality, in coordination with each other, so that we can get the best out of this science. Because learning the concepts is one thing. That, okay, you have learned the concepts, you know how to apply them, but how we have to apply them in totality, in a comprehensive way, so that all these concepts, they help each other and they strengthen the chart overall for success. So the first concept is name balance with respect to date of birth. This is one of the features which numerology provides, no other occult field provides. So this is unique to numerology. And we have seen that this specific concept really helps in the success of the individual. We have seen practical cases where the name is not balanced with the date of birth. Person faces a lot of challenges even though the chart is strong. So this is one of the pillars, very important to be considered for overall success. Now second is profession compatibility with respect to date of birth. Extremely important. You have a strong chart, you have driver conductor favorable with each other, so everything is good, but the profession that you are into, that is not complying with the date of birth. Because see, what does driver and conductor indicate? Basically, the qualities of driver and conductor are driving the quality of the individual that they govern, right? So based on these qualities, one has to choose a suitable profession so that one can apply these qualities effectively for success. Now, if we are into a profession which does not matches our nature, what will happen? We will not be able to give our best in that profession and we will struggle. So this is one of the pillars, very important. Like you can apply for your kids that the education or course they intend to take, does it comply with their date of birth? Right? Because otherwise, if you end up choosing the wrong field, what will happen? It will lead to a struggle throughout life. So this is second pillar. So third pillar is choosing the right timing for the activities. All right. So you have a good chart, you have favorable, driver conductor, your name is balanced. Okay. And your profession is also compatible. But the time when you chose for the activities related to your profession, that time is not favorable. So it is very important that the timing also has to favor your chart. And numerology actually facilitates us to plan our life. So every 9 years is considered an epicycle. And when you plan those 9 years really effectively, then you can get the best out of each of the years. So that opportunity numerology gives. And based on that planning, you will choose the right time for activities. And it will support you in your success. Now, fourth is what? Remedies. Remedies. In Hindi, we call upay. Okay, so for example, in this case, if there is a year which is not very much favorable, okay, this numerology offers remedies for that specific year. And what happens? We are nullifying the negative impacts of that year through remedies. And we are getting the positive, we are attracting the positive energies of those years so that they become favorable. Similarly, if a year is very favorable, you perform remedy. So if it had to give you 80%, 90% of the result, it will give you 120, 150% of the result. So both ways, remedy does not necessarily mean that, if it's a negative year, so how to, get rid of those negative energies. So those are kind of medicines that, okay, absolutely, like if somebody is ill, he has to take medicines to get well. These remedies are kind of medicines. When the year is not favorable, then you are incorporating certain remedies, taking those as medicines and getting the best out of it, right? But there is something known as vitamins also. What are vitamins? Vitamins are when the year is favorable, you are boosting the results more by doing the remedies so that the year will give more than 100% result. Okay, so these are the 4 pillars one has to consider for success. If we miss on any, like building, if the pillars are not appropriately constructed, or if some pillars are, a couple of pillars are missing, what will happen? Foundation of the building is very weak, and then it may lead to disasters. So similarly, here in this case, when we base our lives on these 4 pillars, we are able to get the best out of numerology and we become successful. Okay, so this is what it is. And there is one thumb rule you have to remember. Always we are reducing the things to single digit. In the subsequent sessions, we will learn the quality of numbers, okay, and how they interact. So whatever, anything and everything that you come across, you have to reduce it to single digit and then see the interaction and take suitable decision. So this numerology is basically predictive and corrective numerology that we are learning. You will predict that, okay, this specific year, this is favorable for this specific activity, or this specific year is struggling. So we have mantras for every year. For the epicycle, we have mantras that, okay, the mantra for this year is this. The mantra for this specific year is this. Or what we mean by the epicycle is that these individual planets, they are basically governing your lives in individual years. Now, how you can get the best out of the energy of these planets? That is what the predictive and corrective numerology is all about. Okay, it's going to be very interesting. Gradually, we are going to learn these concepts, and we would appreciate you revise the concepts and try to apply. Share your working, the analysis with me. My contact details are there in the description of the video. Now, the next topic for today is to understand how numbers influence in our lives. So we are going to do the first part of this. Second part, how the numbers influence, we will be doing in the next session. So first part is that when you want to understand how numbers influence our lives, so we have to understand what are the vibrations that those numbers carry, right? How do we connect it with vibration is that every number is connected with a planet, and every planet has a vibration, has some qualities. So accordingly, the numbers which govern a specific individual, what basically qualities of that number, the vibration of that number will actually govern the overall personality of the individual. So to understand this, the basic foundation is that we must understand what these numbers, what planet these numbers represent. Okay, so number 1 represents sun. Sun is Surya Dev. Number 2 represents moon. Moon is Chandra Dev. Number 3 represents Jupiter, Brahaspati Dev. Number 4, dragon head, Rahu Dev. Number 5, Mercury, Buddha Dev. Number 6, Venus, Shukra Dev. Number 7, dragon tail, Ketu Dev. Number 8, Saturn, Shani Dev. And number 9, Mars, Mangal Dev. Each of these devtas, connected with these numbers basically have certain qualities. When we understand their qualities, their nature, we are able to understand how they are influencing an individual. And the way these numbers, these planets interact with each other, we can understand the fate of the individual, the success of the individual. All right, so this we will be learning in subsequent sessions. And we close the session for today. The next topic is characteristics of numbers. So understanding the nature of numbers. Thank you and stay blessed. Hare Krishna.